Hello, this is Claus Jensen presenting my second video in the series on how to play the King's Indian attack against the French defense. The game you're about to watch is a correspondence game I played in a team tournament called Thor Løvholt Memorial, and this is my encounter with the Portuguese board 1 player. He was rated 2270 and I was 2312 going into this game. I'm playing the white pieces and the game went e4, e6 the French defense, and with d3 I reveal my intentions of playing a King's Indian attack early on. If you watch my first video in the series, you will know that it was Fischer who made this line popular. d5, knight d2, c5, g3, knight c6, bishop g2, knight f6, knight g to f3, bishop e7, castles and castles, and both sides have developed naturally, and now comes an important move when you play a King's Indian attack against the French, and it's e5. And with this move, white is clearing the king side and can pursue the plan of attacking with his pieces on the king side. Knight d7, rook e1, b5. Black seeks counterplay on the queen side. Knight f1, bishop b7, and h4. The previous move and this move are both typical moves in this type of position. h4 allows a knight to h2 and possibly a bishop to h3. Knight b6 followed, knight 1 to h2 and queen d7, and it's clear that black has practically no pieces participating in the defense of the king side. And white's plan of attacking with his pieces seems both logical and promising, so I played knight g5 here. And black could weaken his king position with a move like h6 now, chasing away the knight, and knight h3, and then continue his queenside operations with b4. But then knight g4 and rook f to c1, then white has this thematic sack on h6. He could play knight takes h6 check, g takes h6, bishop takes, and when f5, then e takes f6, bishop takes f6, and knight g5 with a very dangerous attack for white. Can play moves like bishop h3, queen g4, queen h5, and so on. But in the game, my opponent didn't play h6. He instead chose rook f to c8, and now came queen h5, hitting both f7 and h7. And so black has to remove my knight on g5, so bishop takes g5 is forced. Bishop takes g5, queen e8, queen g4. Black must be careful here. He tries to transfer a knight to the king side, plays bishop d4. Sorry, he plays knight d4. And I defend my pawn on c2, and then he can put his knight on the good square f5. And it's clear that I have to involve my pawns in the kingside attack now, if I want to remove this knight from f5. So I played queen h3 to make room for the g4 push. Now came h6, and I played g4, and knight e7 followed, bishop d2. And the game, you could say, is dynamically equal. Both sides try to follow their plans on each side of the board. c4 came from my opponent, and now it looks logical to break with g5. But then black has h5, closing down the king side, and with moves like g6 and knight f5, he can consolidate his kingside position. So it's much more effective to play h5 first, and that was what I played in the game. C takes d3, c takes d3, and queen f8. And now the black h-pawn has been fixed, and now it's time to break with g5. H takes g5, and knight g4, knight f5, and bishop takes g5. And I believe it's a very uncomfortable position for black now. h6 is surely in the air, and also a piece sack on f6 could be possible. In any case, black must concentrate on his defense now. So he plays king h7, and it solves the problem of of me playing h6, but he also puts his king on a dangerous diagonal, because if I can put my bishop on this diagonal, then I could force an exchange of the good knight on f5. And my next move starts a plan that would allow me to put a bishop on this diagonal. So I played d4, making the d3 square available. And if knight takes d4 here, then bishop f1, knight back to f5, and bishop d3. Now the knight is pinned. d4, bishop takes the knight, e takes, and now knight f6 check, g takes f6, queen takes f5 check, king g8. And now I would like to play bishop h6, but unfortunately the queen is on f8, is defending the square h6, so I cannot do better than take on f6 here. And I believe black should be able to hold this position. So he could have played knight takes d4 here, perhaps. But in the game he played queen b4 instead. And leaving the defense like this is much too dangerous for black, because now follows a line that's very similar to the one you saw just before. Bishop f1, queen takes b2, bishop d3. Then exchange of rooks here, and knight c4 from black, but now it's all over. Bishop takes, e takes, and knight f6 check. He takes the knight, I give a check here, and then I can play bishop h6, and now it's in fact game over. He played queen takes d4, but then came the very strong rook c3, intending rook g3 with a checkmate coming soon. And of course he cannot take the rook, because then would follow queen g4 check and the checkmate. So after rook c3, my opponent decided to resign the game. So it was a very interesting game, and I hope this video will give you some idea of how to play this King's Engine attack against the French defense. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope to see you on my chess website at klausjensen.com. Bye bye for now.